Good morning. It is David Wilson. Well, no, I am. And it is David Wilson, unscripted and live. Good morning. It's a beautiful Monday morning, November 2nd, the day before November 3rd. It's a big day coming up. Make sure you get out and vote. Make sure you get out and vote tomorrow if you haven't already done so. All right. So today, I'm going to go back to on leadership. So this was a crazy experience I had way back in, this had to be fifth grade. It was in fifth grade because it was only then that we were allowed to have the authority to do what I'm getting ready to tell you. All right, so here's the authority. So on leadership, authority is not just about the belt. Okay, so I remember being in fifth grade, and one of the, dare I say, one of the rites of passage of being in fifth grade, or one of the privileges of being a fifth grader at Green Grove. Shout out to Green Grove Elementary School. Was to be a safety patrol officer. Right. So I remember when I graduated from Ms. Hannah's class and Ms. Miras's class, I was like, okay, yeah, cool. This year, I'm going to be a safety patrol officer. Why? Okay, so check this out now. Why did I want to be a safety patrol officer? Two reasons why I wanted to be a safety patrol officer. Power and recognition, right? Because I would have the power. I'd have the power to control little kids, and I would have the recognition because you had to remember the cross belt. So I had the white belt. It would come across your waist, and then it would cross down. And when you had that belt on, yeah, you were something. So I don't know if there was an application. I forget if there was an interview or whatnot. But I remember that I got the position. I got the job, right, of being safety patrol officer at Green Grove Elementary School. Thank you. Now, what does that mean? Well, I told you what it meant. It meant I had the power and I was recognized. That's all that mattered, right? As long as you knew, because I had that belt on, that what I say, you're supposed to listen to me, and I am important. I'm being recognized for being the person with the power. Okay, this all makes sense in a second. Let me give you the real, because there was a reason why we had safety patrol officers at Green Grove Elementary School. All right, the reason, I imagine, as our, I think Ms. Thomas was the principal at that time. It's amazing what I remember, right? So Ms. Thomas was the principal at the time, to kind of keep control over the buses. So we had the bus loop, and you had a whole bunch of little kids running around, and our job was to kind of keep that together, keep the kids in line, namely the smaller kids, get them on the buses. So when the bus pulled up, it was like, hey there. Hey, Jabari, stop running on the concrete. You might fall and skin you, stuff like that. All right. Really, really important. Now, it's important, but I mean, it's not that important, right? It's not that important because there's adults all over the place. The principals out there. We got all the teachers out there. So our job, I think it's probably kind of here's a little something for you to do, and to feel good about yourself. It's like clapping erasers. I guess that's necessary, but I mean, it's not yo, if you don't clap the erasers, the school's gonna fall over or something. It's not that. Okay. But I guess being a safety patrol officer is a little bit more important than clapping erasers. All right, cool. Anyway, so there was a real reason for it, for being a safety patrol officer. But mind you, in my 5th grade mind, all I cared about was recognition, the recognition of my power, and just the authority, the control, having that power and being in control. All right. So what's this have to do with leadership? Let me finish that story. So long story short, I did something that was like trying to control a line or something like that, and I was just I was just being, as the kids call it now, I was being all extra. I was doing the most, and I ended up in Miss Thomas's office, the principal, which ended up being a theme later. But anyway, and she kind of, she wasn't mad. She didn't scold me or anything, but the way I recall it, I apologize for any Mandela effect here, so don't write in. But the way I remember it, it was just a very gentle, now David, honey, stop wilding out. This is, you just, all you have to do is your job. You don't have to make sure the buses are filled up. They have enough gas. You don't have to you don't need to bring your gas gauge to the school and make sure the bus tires are the right pressure. You shouldn't be talking to little Jabari. He went home crying and his mom called because you yelled at him. Because he wasn't walking in a straight line to the bus. He was walking. So just stay. And I was like, Miss Thomas, whoa, wait. Do you know who I am? Okay. The dude on Kanye's first album, Old Kanye, he said, I was a hall monitor. Okay. I was a safety patrol officer. You couldn't tell. And do you see my belt? Do you see my belt? And I'm husky. And I'm, please, you gotta get out. Put this body on you. Was in my head. I didn't say that. Like I can't talk to but in my head I was saying that. And in her head, she was laughing at me, I'm sure. And then she laughed at me like for real, and was like, just go ahead and do your job. What I couldn't understand was that if this job was so important, why are you're taking that away from me? You're taking the power away from me. You're taking the authority away from me. You're taking all of that away. And that's when I learned that it's not about the belt. It's not about the belt. So in my mind, I just figured everything changes once I get the belt. So when I get the belt, everybody listens to me. Everybody follows me. Now I'm a leader. I'm a leader at my school. I'm a leader in this realm, right? But it's not about the belt. Now, so fast forward to like adult life, the real world. That's from shoot. Dag on it. See, I forget the name of that movie. And this is live. So Lawrence Fishburne, Tyra Banks. Shoot. That Higher Learning. Yeah, man. Listen. Anyway. Okay. Maybe somebody will type it in. So fast forward to the real world. And leadership, too often when we seek leadership, we seek these positions of leadership because we just want to be recognized as leaders. We just want to be recognized as leaders, and we want the power that comes with that. I see that too often. probably way more often than I need to or care to see it. True leadership is doing things that actually a lot of people don't recognize. True leadership, those, if you crave to be in the position of leadership, crave it. You're craving the power. It's just an exacerbation of insecurity. And looking back, I couldn't have possibly seen this as a 10, 11-year-old, however old I was in 5th grade. But and I think saying that a 10 or 11-year-old being insecure is a bit of a stretch, just because as a child, all children are insecure, until they develop. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying, though, is looking back, that's why I wanted the position. Is to get the power and to be recognized. Now, though, in the real world, going back to leadership is about, a lot of times it's about doing stuff that nobody sees. It's about doing stuff that nobody's going to pat you on the back about. The different forms of leadership. There's leadership in business. There's leadership in family. There's leadership in household leadership. There's house of worship leadership. There's all of that, and we have to. Do I believe there are born leaders? Yeah, I think leadership is a skill set, and it can't just be to the desire to be a leader can't just be to look behind you and see how many people are following you. That's not what leadership is. Leadership has a purpose, and leadership has a reason. And you have to be willing to not have the Barry Horowitz, the pat on the back. You have to be. There's probably one person I know that'll appreciate, maybe two that'll appreciate what I just did. Okay, so if Mike is watching, cool, all right. But you have to be willing to lead without being thanked. On our sports teams, we have soccer teams. We have armbands that signify who the captain or captains are on the team. But ultimately, it's about you got to watch. Forget about what I say. Just watch my feet. If my actions and if my words and my actions don't match, watch my feet. So leadership is about watching your feet, and you just have to push away from the desire to be recognized, and at least that's been my experience. That's been my experience, because a lot of leaders are recognized as leaders, and they're not truly leading. They're not truly leading. Even worse, going back to my safety patrol story, even worse, my wearing the belt, that was all about me. That was all about assuaging my inner feelings, albeit those of a 10 or 11-year-old. Again, don't write me. Don't psychologists, don't write me talking about, how can you possibly say then my 10-year-old is okay, fine. That's not my point. My point is, though, and I'm talking about me anyway. So looking back at myself, I wanted that position for my own gain. That's it. I could not have cared less if Lil Jabari got hit by a bus. I'm not saying that that's good that anybody. get hit by, and that wouldn't have happened anyway, because the principal, all the teachers were out there. So that wouldn't have happened anyway. And the buses were really slow coming in the loop. My point is, that's not what my focus was on yet. I wanted to be a leader. So we have leaders who are assuaging their own insecurities for their own gain. And all I'm saying in this live, in this unscripted live, it's clearly unscripted, is that's not leadership. That's not leadership. That's not how you lead. You have to lead from within out. It can't just be, I'm King Jaffe Joe 4, and I'm just here. I'm just the king, and I can let them shout, let them wait when my son is getting married and he's late. It can't just be that. There are responsibilities that come with leadership. There are consequences that come from not leading properly. And you know what? Sometimes you don't get that pat on the back. Sometimes you don't get a certificate to put on your wall. Sometimes you don't get a fancy badge. Sometimes you don't get a pin with a whole bunch of diamonds in it. Sometimes you do. And I'll leave you with this. When you do, those of you who are wondering, I did not get a gold watch when I retired from safety patrol, my safety patrol duties. I did not. I have been fortunate in my life, in my business, sports life, to be awarded things like best whatever. Okay, this is what I'll leave you with, because we're approaching 20 minutes, and I try to get you out of here by 20 minutes, in fewer than 20 minutes. That's okay. That's okay. But that's not, as true leaders, that's not why you should be doing what you're doing. You're doing what you're doing because it needs to be done, and you can do it. That's why I say I don't believe leadership can be taught. I don't. I do think that leadership is innate, and that's it. You have it. You either are or you aren't. And leaders, true leaders, can tell who is. Watch this. And true leaders can tell who's not. So it's very easy to see through the smoke screen, the facades and whatnot, because what ends up bleeding out, what ends up seeping out, is disingenuity. One of those is a word. Hey, Miss Carhart, one of those is a word. Not genuine. They might both be words, actually. Now as the dictionary has evolved, it's just all, everything's a word now. But that seeps out, and it becomes evident. It becomes evident that what the mask actually is. So just get out there, be safe. Do your work. Whatever that work is, just do it. Do it and lead. The best, I think the best way to lead is to start by leading yourself. And do a good job leading yourselves, do a good job leading your families, do a good job leading your businesses. And that's it. That's what I'll leave you with. Unscripted and live. David Wilson on leadership. Have a marvelous day. Stay safe, stay strong, and remain socially distant. Okay, that would have been too much right there. That would have been too much. They'd have kicked me off of Facebook. Have a marvelous day.